Hello students, welcome to the heat transfer. We are going to discuss model number 1, that is the introduction of heat transfer. So first of all, understand what is the difference between thermodynamics and heat transfer. In thermodynamics subject, what happened? So we are bothering about only the amount of energy during the process, only consider the end state in equilibrium, and we are not bothered about the how long it takes. But in case of heat transfer, we are bothered about the how much it takes time or how long it will be taking place, and also it is measured in terms of joules per second, but whereas in thermodynamics heat can be measured in terms of joules only. This is the how difference between heat transfer and thermodynamics. So this is one history, that is heat transfer history. Earlier one calorific theory was there introduced, that is in 18th century, and heat is always flow from high temperature to low temperature of a body. Next, heat, rate and flux. So here one plate is there having 3 by 2 size, and the area is becomes 6 meter square. So and the heat is 24 watts. Okay. So I want to calculate heat flux. So we have to consider for the per meter square area. But here area is 6 meter square. Now I can calculate heat flux. So heat flux is nothing but Q divided by A. So here Q is 24 watts and area is 6 meter square. Now the heat flux is 4 watt per meter square. So nothing but heat flux is nothing but amount of heat transfer per unit area, that is the heat flux. Unit is watt per meter square. So next, the theory of the Fourier law of heat conduction. So here the plane wall will be there having T1 and T2 temperature. Here T1 is greater than T2 and at a thickness of delta X, and finally we can write it as a conduction, heat conduction, that is minus Ka T1 minus T2 divided by delta X, or we can write it as minus Ka dt by dx, where minus sign indicates that it is the decrease in temperature and K is the thermal conductivity of the material and A is the surface area, and where dt by dx is the temperature gradient. So here some of the classification of convection we have categorized in two, that is forced convection and natural convection, or also we call it as free convection. So for forced convection we have to introduce some energy sources to increase the rate of cooling, like fan or blower. If you take any hot plate, if you want having temperature is 100 or 200 degrees centigrade, you want to increase the rate of cooling, you have to use some energy sources like fan, so that your rate of transfer is increased. But in case of in natural convection, we are not using any external source of energy. Well, by naturally, due to the density difference of the air, it is going to be cooling the hot plate. That is how that natural convection or free convection. Even you can consider in boiling and condensation also, you can observe this phenomena. So now convection, according to Newton's law of cooling, equation is HA delta T, that is Ts minus T infinity. So it is depends upon the different fluids. Suppose for gases, the heat transfer coefficient becomes 2 to 25 watt per meter square Kelvin. For liquids, 550 to 1000 watt per meter square Kelvin. So even though convection with phase change, boiling and condensation, it takes the range about 2500 to 100,000 watt per meter square Kelvin. So now third mode of heat transfer is radiation. So radiation, already you know that the energy emitted by the matter is that there is non-zero temperature transmitted by the electromagnetic or photons. Okay, so you may have experience in something, some fire is going on at the corner. If you near to that fire, what happens? Without touching that also you feel that you receive some energy or heat. So that is one example for the radiation. Even one more example I can give, that is the sun emitted the radiation to the earth surface, that is also radiation. So here there is no contact the surface to surface, but also we are feels or receive the heat, that is by a mode of heat transfer, that is radiation. So one more concept, that is surface emissive power. Surface emissive power is nothing but the rate at which the energy is released per unit area, that is EB is equal to sigma T to the power of 4. So what is EB? That is emissive power of the black body. So that is sigma into T to the power of 4. What is sigma? Sigma is nothing but Stefan Boltzmann's constant, that is 5.38 in 10 to the power of minus 8 watt per meter square Kelvin raised to 4, and T4 is the surface temperature. So thermal tradition. So this is the some real surfaces according to Stefan Boltz's law. The black body having more emission. So here the equations are introduced. If the real surface is having less absorptivity, so the epsilon value is less than 1. So that we are introduced. If you are computing consider for the black body, epsilon value is becomes 1 for a black body. Else it is for real body it is less than 1. That equation they have written, that is epsilon sigma T to the power of 4 minus T to the power of 4 to the surface temperature. So now we'll discuss about what is steady state and unsteady state, or also called as transient heat conduction. So for transient heat conduction, multi-dimensional or complex geometry is required. Analysis is very difficult. Okay, so for that, seeing a one-dimensional heat conduction equation we are going to study. So Q conduction is equal to minus Ka dt by dx is a Fourier law of heat conduction. For this equation, you can compare what is steady state and unsteady state. In this condition, in steady state, what happened? No change with time at any point within the medium. But in case of transient, it is a time dependent. So here, in case of steady state, T and Q are remains unchanged with the time. But in case of transient, it is a function of X, Y, Z and T. And here special case is lumped changes with the time, but without any change in location. And here the temperature is function of X, Y, Z only, usually, but not assume the values. But here it is a time is temperature is a function of time in case of transient heat conduction. So there are three types of coordinate systems. One is rectangular, cylindrical and spherical coordinate. In case of rectangular coordinates, we consider X, Y, Z are the coordinates. In case of cylindrical, R, Phi and Z are the coordinates, and spherical coordinates R, theta and Phi is the coordinate systems. So what is meant by thermal conductivity? Thermal conductivity is nothing but ability to allow the flow of heat. So also we can define mathematically the rate of heat transfer through a unit thickness of material per unit area per unit temperature difference, that we can write it as K is equal to Q divided by dou T by dou X. So let us understand what is the difference between specific heat and thermal conductivity. Example, if you take water specific heat, it is more than iron. But in case of thermal conductivity, the iron is more having a thermal conductivity than water. So this is the how difference between specific heat and thermal conductivity. So this thermal conductivity having so many factors. It is having a transport property, and it indicates the rate at which the energy is transmitted by the diffusion process, and it depends upon the physical structure of the matter, atomic and molecular structure, and related to the state of the matter. If the isotopic material are there, so the K value becomes Kx, Ky and Kz are same in all directions. So this is how the thermal conductivity. The isotopic material means the thermal conductivity of the material, it is uniform in all the direction X, Y, Z. So next one is according to theory of gases, the various thermal conductivity value depends upon the type of material at different temperature and pressure. So these are the some charts which I have shown. Example for liquids in mercury, water and oils having different thermal conductivity. Again, if you go with the diamond, it is more than that everything. So diamond is the highest thermal conductivity of the material. This is how different thermal conductivity value we can see in the chart. So again you can see this thermal conductivity depends upon the temperature. As temperature varies, the thermal conductivity also varies. It is a function of temperature also. So this is the thermal conductivity for different materials, solid, liquid and gases. Direct line becomes solids and dotted line is liquids, and very small dotted line it indicates for the gases. And one more concept is thermal diffusivity. Thermal diffusivity is nothing but it is propagation of heat into the medium, that is it is the ratio of transfer property to its volumetric heat capacity. So where K is thermal conductivity and thermodynamic properties like density and specific we call it as a heat capacity. So as faster propagation of the heat into the medium, the smaller the alpha, heat is mostly absorbed by the material and its small amount of heat is going to be conducted further. So next one is assumptions made. So this is very important. We are going to derive the equations for three-dimensional equations for heat transfer for three-dimensional heat conduction equation. So here certain set of assumptions are made. So first assumption is it is a homogeneous medium and no bulk motion will be there, and thermal conductivity of that material is made up of same material, that is isotropic. Okay, so here if you consider an element having sides of dx, dy and dz for the element, so the heat entering to that element, that is qx plus dx is equal to qx plus dou qx divided by dou x into dx, and similarly for y and x z directions. So for the energy balance, energy in and energy out. So energy in minus energy out, in between that, so we can introduce that heat generation, energy in plus heat generation, and is equal to stored energy. This is the balancing energy equation. So here what is the generating energy, that is Eg into dx dy dz. Okay, and in case of stored energy it is rho Cp into dou t by dou x dou t by dou t into dx dy into dz. This is the rate of change of sensible or thermal energy of the medium per volume. So this is the governing equation, that is as I already told, energy in minus energy out plus energy internal energy is equal to stored energy. So by substituting all above equations in this equation, it is formulate one equation, that is dou by dou x of k into dou t by dou x plus dou by dou y of k dou t by dou y plus dou by dou z of k dou t by dou z plus Eg and is equal to rho Cp dou t by dou t. So this is the equation. So once if you understand this equation, we can write it as in different form. So that is dou by dou x of k into dou t by dou x plus dou by dou y of k into dou t by dou y plus dou by dou z of k into dou t by dou z plus E is equal to rho Cp dou t by dou t. So this is the three-dimensional heat conduction equation in Cartesian form. So if the if the material is made up of same material, if the K becomes common, okay, so that is Kx is equal to Ky is equal to Kz. So this is the three-dimensional heat conduction equation. Similarly, we have to write down for the cylindrical as well as spherical coordinate system. And boundary and initial conditions. So boundary condition is nothing but necessary to solve the appropriate form of the heat equation, depends upon the physical condition at the boundary, and second is on time. So we have to be substitute the values in first order in time, and only the one condition is that initial condition must be specified. And one dimensional and steady state example, temperature gradient is exist along only the single coordinate direction, and heat transfer occur exclusively in that direction, and temperature at each point is independent of the time. Okay, let us will see what will happen. Suppose if the temperature and distribution of the heat transfer rate is common, like planar, cylindrical and spherical geometry, the thermal resistance becomes two types, that is thermal resistance. One is electrical thermal resistance, and in thermal circuits the mode of heat transfer will be flow, and in case of electrical circuit the current will be flow. How the current is flowing in a electrical system. Here similarly in thermal circuits the heat is going to be flow by temperature difference. Okay, now Cartesian coordinates here for one dimensional heat conduction equation. So earlier in the derivation we have assumed that there is a 3-dimensional, but now in this case we assume that y and z coordinate systems are not there. Only we are assuming it is a uniform or unidirectional flow. So then the equation becomes dt by d by dx of k into dt by dx is equal to 0. So here we can see thermal circuits. Here we can analogous to this thermal wall, we can write it as a electrical circuit, where electric circuit here by temperature T1, T2, T3, T4 are there here. Okay, so these are all thermal resistance, 1 by HA and 1 by L by Ka and 1 by H2A. These are all thermal resistances. So suppose plane wall, if you consider K is constant, then T of x is equal to C1x plus C2. Then substitute this initial and boundary condition of this above equation and find out the values. That is ratio of driving potential to the corresponding transfer rate, that is T1 minus T2 divided by Qx. Also we write it as L by Ka. So thermal resistance also we can write it as E1 minus E2 divided by L, that is in case of electric resistance. So if you want to calculate thermal resistance for convection, that is Ts minus T infinity divided by Q, or we can write it as 1 by Ha. So this is how we can write the thermal resistance in case of conduction as well as convection. So this is an example for radiation. The thermal radiation, the thermal resistance are like this. The rate of heat exchange between the surface and its surroundings is Ts minus T surrounding divided by Q radiation, or we can write it as H1 divided by HR into A, where HR is the heat transfer coefficient through radiation. Let us discuss what is meant by composite wall. So if the wall is made up of more than one or two materials, so we call it as composite wall. And through that, suppose if you are going to supply the heat at the one surface of the wall, so what will be the rate of heat transfer with a different material? Okay, so this is the concept. So we can write here LA is nothing but thickness of the first material, and LB is second material, and LC is the third material. Here the heat is going to be transferred from the air, that is the T infinity 1, and reaches surface T1 and T2 and T3 and T4, and finally it is exposed to the atmosphere, that is T infinity to the power 4. So at the both side, here the hot fluid is moving, other side is cold fluid is moving. So now we can find out what is the rate of heat transfer. So you should remember that the heat transfer through each material is same, remember. So to balance that energy equation, so we can use this formula. So thermal resistance for the first material is, first one is 1 divided by H1A, and second for the first material, solid material, is L by Ka, and Lb by Kb A, and Lc by Kc A, and 1 by Ha by H2A. So these are the thermal resistance throughout the heat transfer. So this is the series and parallel composite wall. If the walls are arranged in such a way that like electrical system, if you consider a series, if you arrange in series, you can add the resistance, thermal resistance, like R1 plus R2. If it is arranged in parallel, so you have to take it 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 in that way. So here some of the examples of the electrical circuits equivalent to the thermal circuits. So next concept is we will discuss in the next slide.